Hi there, amazing educator. No matter what your role or the age of the children you serve, I want you to picture this. Your students are studying the American Revolution in social studies, analyzing persuasive writing in English, exploring geometric patterns in math, and conducting chemistry experiments in science. Now, imagine if all of these subjects connected around one single engaging theme. That's exactly what we're diving into today. Cross-curricular integration that promises deeper student understanding while actually reducing your planning burden. Here's what might surprise you. Integration actually simplifies teaching rather than complicating it. Most educators think connecting subjects means more work, but what if I told you that instead of creating 4 separate units, you could weave one rich unit together that serves multiple academic standards? The mistake most teachers make is forcing connections where they don't naturally exist. But there's a better way. Today, we'll explore authentic, standards based mapping, starting with a simple standards audit to find natural overlaps, then building around compelling anchor themes using backward design. You'll walk away with 3 concrete benefits: students who see knowledge as interconnected like the real world, the ability to create one rich integrated unit that replaces 4 separate lesson plans, and assessment that becomes more authentic and meaningful. I know you're feeling that overwhelming pressure of covering multiple subjects with limited time and energy. We all are. But what if instead of juggling separate subjects like spinning plates, you could weave one beautiful, cohesive learning experience together that serves your students better while giving you back your sanity? Let's dive in and discover how small, intentional connections can transform both your teaching and your students' learning experiences. This is Schoolutions Teaching Strategies, the podcast that extends education beyond the classroom. A show that isn't just theory, but practical, try it tomorrow approaches for educators and caregivers to ensure every student finds their spark and receives the support they need to thrive. Welcome to Schoolutions Teaching Strategies Summer Series. This is the podcast that helps educators create meaningful learning experiences. I'm your host, Olivia Wall, and today we are diving into one of the most powerful strategies you can implement this September: mapping cross-curricular connections to create integrated learning experiences. Whether you're listening to this on a beach or taking a summer walk, this episode is designed to give you practical strategies you can start planning right now. Let's jump in. Picture this. Your students are studying the American Revolution in social studies, analyzing persuasive writing in English, exploring geometric patterns in math, and conducting simple chemistry experiments in science. Now, imagine if all of these subjects connected around a single engaging theme. That's the power of cross-curricular integration. Research shows that when students see connections between subjects, they develop deeper understanding, better retention, and stronger critical thinking skills. Instead of learning in isolated silos, they begin to see knowledge as interconnected, just like in the real world. But here's the teacher benefit. Integrated learning reduces your planning burden while increasing student engagement. It is so rewarding, but it does take a shift in thinking. Because instead of creating 4 separate units, you could be weaving one rich tapestry that serves multiple academic standards. So that may seem like a lot, and here's what I have to offer: a step-by-step process for mapping connections this summer. Step 1, start with standards audit. Grab your grade level standards for all subjects. Don't panic, we're not reading every single one, but instead look for natural overlaps. Math geometry standards often align beautifully with art and science. Social studies timelines connect with literature from the same era. Science processes mirror mathematical thinking. Step 2, choose your anchor theme. Select one compelling theme that can serve multiple subjects. Some possible winners could include patterns in our world for elementary grades, innovation and change for middle school, or systems and relationships for high school. Your theme should be broad enough to accommodate multiple subjects, but specific enough to maintain focus. Step 3, backward design your connections. Start with your end goals, always. What do you want students to know and be able to do by the end of your integrated unit? Then work backward to identify which subjects contribute what knowledge and skills. This will prevent forced connections that feel artificial. Step 4, create your connection map. I would use Canva to do this because they have fabulous graphic organizer templates, but even a hand-drawn web works perfectly. You would put your theme in the center and then branch out to each subject area. Under each subject, you could list specific standards, skills, and content that connect to your theme. So with those steps in place, let me share 3 proven strategies that work across all grade levels. Strategy 1, I always loved the project bridge. You can design culminating projects or tasks that require multiple subject areas. For example, a 4th grade Design a Sustainable Community project naturally incorporates math calculations, science concepts about ecosystems, and social studies understandings of community needs. Even language arts research and presentation skills can be woven in. Strategy 2, shared vocabulary. It will be so important that you identify academic vocabulary that appears across subjects. Words like analyze or compare or pattern and system show up everywhere. When students hear these terms consistently across their day, they develop deeper understanding of both the vocabulary and the thinking processes. Strategy 3, common assessment tasks. Create assessments that evaluate multiple subjects simultaneously. A scientific lab report assesses science content knowledge, but also writing mechanics, mathematical data analysis, or even artistic skills if students create diagrams or models. The key is authenticity. I always ask myself, would a professional in the real world need to separate these skills and knowledge areas? If the answer is no, then integration makes perfect sense. And don't let this be overwhelming. If you don't have time to coordinate with other teachers, you can start small. You don't need to integrate everything. Choose 1 unit per semester to begin with. Even connecting 2 subjects creates powerful learning experiences. If you're in a self-contained classroom, you have complete control. You can pace subjects to align naturally. If you're departmentalized, focus on what you can control within your own classroom. Then gradually build relationships with colleagues who share your vision. Remember that not every connection needs to be elaborate. Sometimes integration can be as simple as using social studies content as the context for math word problems. The biggest mistake teachers make is trying to force connections where they don't naturally exist. Trust your gut, trust your professional judgment. If a connection feels contrived, it probably is. So here are some next steps for the remaining weeks of summer if this interests you. Week 1, complete your standards audit and choose your anchor theme. Don't overthink this, you can always adjust. Week 2, create your connection map and identify your first integrated unit. I would start with something you're already comfortable teaching. Week 3, plan your opening week's activities that introduce the integrated approach to students. They need to understand why subjects connect and how this benefits their learning. Week 4, prep your materials and resources. Integrated learning often requires slightly different resources than traditional separate subject teaching. You don't need to revolutionize your entire curriculum overnight. Small, intentional connections will transform your teaching and your students' learning experiences. As you plan for September, remember the goal isn't perfection, it's connection. When students begin to see the beautiful web of knowledge that connects mathematics to music, science to literature, and history to current events, you'll witness those magical aha moments that remind us of why we became educators. Thank you for taking the time to tune into this episode and working to become an even better teacher. Your September students are very fortunate to have you. Until next time, keep making those connections. Schoolutions Teaching Strategies is created, produced, and edited by me, Olivia Wall. Thank you to my older son, Benjamin, who created the music playing in the background. You can follow and listen to Schoolutions wherever you get your podcasts, or subscribe to never miss an episode and watch on YouTube. Now I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email at schoolutionspodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what your action plan is to start that integrated cross-curricular connection work. Don't forget to tune in every Monday and Friday this August for mini episodes filled with tips and ideas that will help you prepare for September while still resting and rejuvenating this summer. See you soon for another tip, and until then, enjoy the sunshine and take care.